Okay, so we have the Photix kit, the Studio to Go kit, and I've got it completely set up, and we're going to give you some assignments. And the first assignment we're going to do is a very dramatic spotlight looking black and white photo. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to do just one single flash off camera, and we're going to use the Photix radio transceiver. So I'm going to teach you exactly the formula on how to do this. So what I have right here is a Canon 5D Mark II with a 50 millimeter lens on it. And I have up here on a stand, we have the one Photix Mitros Plus, which is the receiver of this transmitter. So what I've done here is this. The camera is on manual mode. That's part one. Now, on all of these demonstrations, the camera will be on manual mode because I want to have the ultimate control of the shutter speed and the aperture. So we put the camera on manual mode, and then because I want to wipe out all of the background as much as I can, I'm going to put the ISO down to as low as I can possibly put it. So this guy goes down to, like, say, ISO 100. I've got it at 160 right now. ISO 160, 1/8,000th of a second, f1.4. And I can go to 1/8,000th of a second because on the Photix, there's a button here called high speed sync. It's on the bottom row, the third button over, and it just says high. Once I press that, there's going to be a little logo up on the top window that has a little H, and that means high speed sync. You'll know that you have that there when you're able to take the shutter speed all the way up to 8,000th. If it doesn't go there, that means that you don't have that on. So what'll happen is if you do that, it'll just lock on 1/200th of a second, and it'll just get stuck there, so you can't get any higher. We want to go to 1/8,000th of a second because we want to wipe out all of this available light, and that is how we set up the camera. So manual 1/8,000th of a second. If you've got a camera that only goes up to 1/4,000th of a second, that's okay. If you have a camera that only goes up to f2.8 or f4, that's okay also. It's just the idea is have the camera on the highest shutter speed and the lowest ISO that you possibly can, and then set the Photix to high speed sync. So there's 3 different power groups called A, B, and C, and 4 different channels called 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's very important, number one, to make sure that the channels match, or else you won't be able to get this guy to trigger that guy. So the first thing that we do, and you'll see on the top right here, it says channel 1. I'm going to hit the select button, and 3 or 4 times until you see the channel pop up. And then I'll go plus or minus. Right now I'll have it on channel 1, just so that you know. But that's how to change that on the transmitter. On the receiver, so I'm going to hold the MS button, and I'm going to hold it down until it says the different modes. And I want this mode to be on Odin RX, which is the Odin system receiver. Once I choose that, then you'll see here that it'll say channel 1 and B or whatever. To change those around, I'm just going to simply hold down the MS button, and then I can change the channel like this, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then if I want to change to a different power group, I'll hit the MS button again, and which will then take me over to power group B or A or C. Now right now I'm going to have it on A. Okay, because this is the only one I've got, so I'm just going to have it on A. So again, this one is channel 1A. They're both on channel 1A. That's power group A. We're going to get into separate power groups in just a second when we go to the second light. But for now, that's what we're going to use, okay? And then, because it's radio, it doesn't matter how the head's positioned, but what does matter is where this head is aiming toward my subject. Now, you notice here that I have on here the light sphere collapsible snoot with the grid. And the reason the grill's important is because if I don't have the grill, light is going to spill off onto all these different walls, and it's going to contaminate that really cool spotlight effect. So we put the grill and the light sphere collapsible snoot on to create just a single tunnel of light onto my subject. And then we have, of course, our roller ball. The roller ball is really important for positioning. And that way I can ask my subject if this is pointed right directly at her face. And the important part is that the subject is able to look right up into the deep bowl of the throat, because if she can't, then you won't have the light directly on. It's a very, very narrow cylindrical light, as you'll see. So is this on you yet, or? No, okay. That way? More? How's that? More? How's that? Okay. So now it's right on her, and then that's basically it. And that's all we need to do. Now, on the camera here, I'm just going to put it on monochrome mode to give me that really cool black and white look. The whole system is on regular TTL. And regular TTL ensures that the light that hits the subject is the same amount of light that is going to give a correct exposure, regardless of what the camera's on. So the camera is manual. Camera is meant to completely wipe out any available light. The TTL system will give you the perfect exposure. So I have the radio slave on regular TTL. The camera is on 1/8,000th of a second at f1.4, and that's basically it. And okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, perfect. Yep, that's right. And then this time, maybe look a little, your face a little more toward the light. Yeah, just like that. But eyes at me. Good. Okay. And that's beautiful. Okay, so that's how that's done. So let's review so that you guys can get this exactly the way that I have it. So as you'll notice, the model is sitting on a regular chair in front of a regular wall, and I'm able to get an effect like this. And the way that you can pose someone in just a regular chair, like I've instructed her, is to just basically, actually, can I do it? All right. I'll show you how to do it, because you can turn a regular chair into really cool posing stool. Just put your right bum, or whatever bum, like on the very edge, and then lean until your rib cage hits the chair, like that. And then your arm is up, and then your hand is like that. What happens is you get a very, very dramatic angle. And if your rib cage is on the chair, then you have a really nice angle. So, and it's easy to teach. It's easy to tell someone to do that. Okay, so go back on your spot. And then that's it. We've got ourselves really nice shot. This guy right here, just so you know, if you want to duplicate this again, this is our photic stand, I think it's called a 200 stand with the roller ball. And we have the head at around 64 inches, okay? Which sounds to me just like about 5 feet. And then we've got the dome on, and then the distance from the model to the wall is at about 5.5 feet. So this is a 50mm lens, and we are about 4 feet away, okay? And then the camera is about 4 feet tall. There's some people that really just will want to duplicate this exactly. So the lens is at about 4 feet. When you look at your result, the background's going to be completely black because we've obliterated it. If you need to change the exposure at all, you'll do that with the TTL override. That would just basically be hitting the whatever channel you're on, like a power group A, and then hit the plus and minus until you get the desired result. Typically it should be right on, but if you're at a really wild angle, sometimes it'll be quite a bit off. Okay, so that is the first assignment, which would be very, very dramatic black and white portraiture anywhere.